Throw away hard-earned income with energy loss from poor attic and wall insulation. Poor insulation burns money, and the last thing you need is higher energy bills. Arrowhead Building Supply rents the Owens Corning Atticat insulation system. Spend only a few hours and a few bucks to solve your energy problem. Keep your home comfortable and money in your pocket with Owens Corning Atticat insulation. Visit our St. Peter's or Peebly showrooms in Missouri or the Fairview Heights showroom in Illinois. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
I'm Brian from 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Neither rain, nor sleet, nor gloom of night will keep us from hauling away your junk.
How about a flood?
Not even that.
Tornado?
Nope.
Blizzard?
Nope. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough.
What are you trying to say?
When you've got junk that needs to disappear, all you have to do is point. Don't worry about how or if we can get there. We can. And we will.
I love working with these guys.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
So I received the Brooklinen bed sheets at my front doorstep, took them out of the box, felt them, and said, why aren't these pants? Why aren't these shirts? Brooklinen bed sheets, the most comfortable sheets you're ever going to find. And these are soft, smooth, silky, and will sleep you coolly, beyond compare anything else. And speaking of comparisons, I put them on the bed, took the other sheets off, and I was like, I could sand wood with these old sheets, for crying out loud. That's the comparison I made, and you will not want another bed sheet in your life after you sleep on the Brooklinen bed sheet. Now, here's the deal. You can sleep on them for 60 days, and after 60 days, if you don't like them, you can return them. But here's the deal for you right now. Brooklinen.com has an exclusive offer just for you Allman listeners. You get $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code Allman at Brooklinen.com. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is use the promo code Allman at Brooklinen.com. That's Brooklinen.com, promo code Allman.
Trending on FM News Talk 97.1.
Tax cut. I think almost all our guys will be voting for it next week.
It's a monumental con job.
Criminals who kill police officers should get the death penalty.
Stay connected.
The internet.
Net neutrality.
Burdensome regulations.
Well, it's a shame what's happened with the FBI. The rogue regime in Iran.
FM News Talk 97.1.
A threat to the peace and security.
Younger, smarter.
Of the entire world.
Better.
This is the Tim Jones Show.
And for all these athletes, take a knee. How about my foot in your ass? Thank God Trump did get elected.
The Tim Jones Show.
The media now has declared war on the very American people that put this president into office.
Donald Trump is the first president since Ronald Reagan that wasn't a candy ass. Thanks for being on the air for us. You got a great show.
This is the Tim Jones Show on FM News Talk 97.1.
This hour of the Tim Jones Show is brought to you by Convergent Wealth Management, your lifelong financial advocate. ConvergentWM.com.
Hey, good evening. This is Making America Great Again. You're witnessing it.
That's
good evening,
right.
Ken.
Yes, sir. How are you, Mr. Speaker?
I'm doing great. Boy, I'm doing especially great now that the tax cut bill is heading into the law books this week. My prediction. Hey, folks, welcome to the Tim Jones Show. We are live and in studio here on December 17th, 2017.
Wow.
Can you believe it? We got 14 days left in the year. About to bid 2017 adieu. As my wife would say, because she speaks French. Well, welcome to the Tim Jones Show here at FM News Talk 97.1. Thank you for joining us here tonight. You can, of course, listen to us on your dial. You can stream us anywhere on this planet. I'm not sure about other planets. I don't know how far the signal carries, but you can, I guess you can get Wi-Fi on Mars. You can stream us there.
There you go.
971talk.com/Tim Jones. The YouTube channel, just Google, just go to YouTube and punch in Tim Jones Show in the search box. And Ken, somebody taught me this the other week. I feel silly I didn't know this. If you download the little podcast app on your iPhone,
yeah,
you punch in Tim Jones Show and it all pops up.
Oh, there you go.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is.
Podcast me on the run.
Well, for this show, it's a fairly new thing. So.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
And
Ken's got that all run through SoundCloud, and there's a million different ways you can access our content.
Yeah, I think in 2018, this is a little bit like background stuff, but we're working on your Facebook page, and then we're going to get it to the point to where we can go ahead and automatically have you up live on that page and some other good stuff. So.
And Ken, I think... doesn't the station now have a deal that you helped work on with Alexa, right? With running the news?
Yeah.
So if you have an Alexa, what do you do?
Well, you can go into settings and do your preferences for news, getting your news feed. It's called a flash briefing.
Okay.
And if you say, hey, Alexa, give me a flash briefing, if you put in 97.1, I think it's FM News Talk 97.1, if you say that.
97.1.
Yes, then you can have us. I do it, and then some of the other people do it here. The producers do it for read the news, updated local news.
So do that with your Alexa thing.
Mm-hmm.
I better be careful how I say that. I'll get a sexual harassment suit.
You better watch out.
Yeah, but thank goodness Alexa's just a speaker.
That's right.
So far, we haven't gone down that road. So, hey, well, we just did that. Jeff Allen's going to give us a gold star for promoting that.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Well, folks, you can follow me. You can follow me on Facebook or Twitter. At Speaker Tim Jones, at Speaker Tim Jones on Facebook or Twitter. So you got Facebook, you got Twitter, you got the live stream at 971talk.com/Tim Jones, the YouTube channel, the podcast. And like Ken said, there's so much more ahead in 2018. He is Ken Williams, my executive producer. We got Andrew in the back. I haven't seen him yet. I guess he's back there.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Andrew's back there, man in the phones.
Ready to go.
And I need to do a better job of the phone lines. You know, we have a 2-hour show. And I've already burned 5 minutes of it, saying hello. And so I don't always promote the phone lines as much because I've got piles. Ken sees me coming. I got all this paper, and we got 2 computer screens up in front of us, and we're watching Fox News live. There is some breaking news I'm going to tell you about in just a second. You wouldn't think we'd have breaking news on a Sunday night, but we do, and that's why there's this show, because we're heading back into the week. So, we just have so much content, and we don't even get it in. Ken keeps saying we need another hour, and my wife says no, we don't. So don't give Jeff Allen that idea. 314-969-9797 are those phone lines. 314-969-9797. Thank you. I want to say I'll try to remember this at the end, but if I forget, I just want to tell everybody. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a very safe holiday season. Have a Happy New Year. We will not be here next week live. Like everybody else on the planet, we'll be celebrating Christmas on Christmas Eve, which is next Sunday.
Right.
Next Sunday is Christmas Eve. So if you're out running around, though, I know you'll have 97.1 on because you're a hardcore listener, and we appreciate that. We will have the best of Tim Jones, and Ken's going to put together some incredible interviews that we've had the last 7 months.
And they're worthy of another listen. I mean, they're so good.
And we've got some more coming up tonight. One of these may make it into the best of because we got a huge lineup tonight of 3 incredible guests. And we will be back on New Year's Eve. So we're going to be back on New Year's Eve, and we've already got some great guests lined up for that. So, next week's the best of because it's going to be, 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. You might have other things you're doing. But if you're out running around, turn on the dial. There's, like Ken said, there's going to be some awesome replays of some incredible interviews that we have. I mean, we've talked to Dinesh D'Souza this year. We've talked to Grover Norquist. We've talked to Jim Talent.
Brigitte Gabriel.
We talked to Brigitte Gabriel, which was a fantastic. That may make the cut. We've had Representative Nick Schroer on. We've had Senator Bill Eigel, I'm going to forget people now. Talent, Mark Harder, who's going to be here tonight. So before we get to all that, though, I better focus this in a little bit and do Tim's Top 3.
Now, the Tim Jones Show presents
Tim's Top 3.
Yes, and it is a Merry Christmas Top 3 because Donald Trump promised us a huge Christmas present, and it's coming this week. Tax cuts now. I started working on this back in June with various other folks, some of whom have been on this radio station with me. It's going to happen. Tax cuts now. Number 2, Mueller mayhem. Wow. Mueller and his crew, mainly his crew, are out of control. The struck text messages and emails, 10,000 of them, Ken, with this mistress of his.
It's like Mueller left the room and they're all just going crazy.
It's like Romper Room. And number 3, breaking the chain of murderous migration. I know it always seems like these weeks last 4 weeks, but remember at the beginning of this week, we had the thwarting of another terrorist attack in our beloved New York City.
Right.
And we say that in all seriousness because I spent 10 years there, and we love New York. They're a little bit left-wing loony these days as far as Manhattan, but New York as a whole is a great place, and New York City is a crown jewel of America, even though it's run by left-wing lunatics right now. We still like the place. Trump says it's time to end chain migration. So tax cuts now, Mueller mayhem, and breaking the chain of murderous migration. We'll have more on all of those as we roll through the show tonight. That's Tim's Top 3. Ah, boy, guests. We've got some great guests tonight. I had no guests because it was like earlier in the week because, okay, this as we know, is kind of like people start to zone out this week and take it off. A lot of the major hosts on all the cable networks, their last night was Friday, and they signed off and said, okay, we'll see you. The fill-ins will be here next week. But we're here tonight, and the whole 97.1 crew is going to be here all this week. As far as Allman's not taking off, he doesn't take off till the week after. I will be filling in for him several days.
Awesome.
So I'll be here the 26th, Boxing Day. I've been doing Boxing Day for Allman for like 5 years now. It's a tradition. The 27th and the 28th. So if you miss me not being around, on Christmas Eve, I'll be back just a few days later, live on Allman in the Morning. Jamie's going to take a well-deserved break. That guy's one of the hardest-working guys I know. Forget about in radio, just period, the end. One of the hardest-working guys out there. Honored always to sit in the big chair for him in the morning. So we're going to have a full Allman in the Morning show that week as you're all driving around and returning gifts and getting the heck out of the house because you can't stand crazy Uncle Bob anymore. And I'll be here. So tonight, like I said, we went from 0 to like 3 guests, and we actually had to turn guests away, which is a great problem. Don't worry, we'll have them in the new year. And we're making some incredible contacts on the national level for this show. It's only going to be better in 2018. Tonight, after our first break here, we will have a frequent friend, guest of the show, Missouri State Representative Nick Schroer from the great county of St. Charles. The Missouri legislative session, the General Assembly, heads back to Jefferson City in, like barely 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks. January 3rd.
Yeah, less.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks till the end of the year, right? So, yes. So, folks, batten down your checkbooks, preserve and protect your liberties. The Missouri legislature is about to go back into session. So, and I used to say that when I was there. So I make fun. I poked fun at myself about that. So, but there is opportunity. With every challenge, there's opportunity, and it's a new year, and it's going to be a new session. And Representative Nick Schroer, who is I can't believe he's still a freshman representative, but he future leader, definitely. He's going to join us and talk to us about what he's going to be filing, maybe what he's already filed, because they've already had pre-filing of bills. And they start Wednesday, January 3rd, I think at high noon. If they've kept the tradition, they start at high noon. And they'll start rolling. It's a long session this year, folks. Lots of mischief to make, but also perhaps good things to happen as well. Senator Bill Eigel has already filed a major piece of tax reform. I know Senator Bob Onder will have a very aggressive, liberty-minded agenda as well, so we'll get those two gentlemen on in the future. Also, we'll try to speak to some other great friends of the show in the new year. Representative Hannah Kelly. Remember, Ken, she called in from South Central Missouri.
Right.
She's a great lady leader in the House, and so many. There's so many more, and I'll try to get more of them on in the new year as well. The second guest, we are truly blessed here. We have got a lady who has gone to high places to do great things. Did you know, folks, that the RNC National Press Secretary, as in the Republican National Committee, the RNC National Press Secretary is from Kansas City, Missouri? I don't think I really knew that until last week when my friends at the RNC, who I've made some great friends over there in the communications department, they said, hey, we'll be happy to, shift you over some guests whenever. I'm like, sure. Because Sunday night, they're like, yeah, we're going to start we'll start the week off. We'll be ahead of everybody.
Yep.
So because we have to be, because the media, just this onslaught Monday morning of everyone who hates Trump, the never Trumperana media. So we're going to have Cassie. I'm not sure how to say her last name. You think it's Smedile? I'm going to have to ask her.
Yeah.
Smedile?
Smedile? I don't know. We'll find out.
So Cassie is going to join us in the 8 o'clock hour. You're going to want to be listening in the top of the 8 o'clock hour. She is the RNC National Press Secretary, National Spokesperson for the RNC, Kansas City, Missouri native. How about that? That is awesome. Very cool. And aforementioned St. Louis County Councilman Mark Harder will be in studio, and I'll tell you why. Well, number one, because he's always welcome here, but number two, the county council, for the first time in anybody's recent memory, has rejected the county executive's budget.
Wow.
For the 2018 year. And this is a county council that is run by a majority of Democrats. And the county executive is a Democrat. See where I'm going here?
Right.
There's a lot happening there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of some Freudian stuff going on here, or some psychologist, And Mark Harder, he's gonna put us on the couch and tell us why in the world is there Dem versus Dem warfare in St. Louis County. And Mark Harder's on the side of the council. He agrees with the Democratic councilman, Dr. Sam Page, who I used to serve with in the Missouri House, is leading the charge. As much as Mark would love to lead the charge on this, he can't because they're not going to listen to him, right? He's in the minority. Right. He kind of has to pick and choose his battles and then jump in. And he's had a lot of victories this year, by the way, being in the minority. But on this one, he was happy to let Dr. Sam Page, county councilman, kind of take the lead, the Democrat, and sit back and watch the fire burn, Let me tell you what's going on. There is a budget hole in the county budget for next year. And County Executive Steve Stenger and the gang were just kind of hoping that nobody would notice and they would just kind of move this bucket over here and put it in that bucket. No, nobody will notice. And usually the council doesn't, and they just rubber stamp and everybody goes home. This year, suddenly, we've got fiscally conservative Democrats in St. Louis County.
Wow.
Woohoo! So they're going to battle it out.
Hey, and no matter where they come from, that's great. And
you know what? Folks? This is called bipartisanship. Okay? This is called bipartisanship. When two parties get together and work on something in a certain way that they normally wouldn't. So we're going to have Councilman Mark Harder explain how this all happened, what's going on. He's also going to redefine for you the definition of a government cut. The government, okay, if you had to, Ken Williams, cut your budget at home, you'd be taking money out, right?
Correct.
The government calls not increasing your budget a cut.
Yeah, I've heard that before, and I wish I could do that at home.
It'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If you could
we're not going to lose any money, but we're just not going to raise a whole lot of money, spend a lot of
We're gonna bring in less money than the more that we were going to bring in.
Right.
It was just going to happen that way.
That's budget cutting.
That's called budget cutting, government style.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, we've got Representative Nick Schroer, RNC National Press Secretary Cassie Smedile, and St. Louis County Councilman Mark Harder. So much sound to play you to. Fareed Zakaria was very sad today about the tax. You know it's a great thing when the liberal and the media is crying in their coffee cups all over the morning news about the fact that GOP is going to get a tax cut in. You know what that means? It's great for America. That's what I'm saying.
And you've been hearing a lot of it. So
absolutely. We got Judge Janine blowing up the FBI over this Strzok thing. We've got Senator Cornyn explaining why the tax cut bill is great for every hardworking middle-class American. The president himself calling for an end to chain migration. CNN's, our favorite CNN, Brian Stetler, hyperventilating over the fact that maybe Mueller needs to go. All that and more on the Tim Jones Show. Hey, it is heading into the Christmas holiday, and it's Christmas week here at the Tim Jones Show, and boy, do we have gifts for you. 314-969-9797, 314-969-9797. Be happy to hear from you all. We've got State Representative Nick Schroer coming up next.
This is the Tim Jones Show on FM News Talk 97.1, 98.7, and AM 1490. Or streaming live at 971talk.com and the 97.1 mobile app.
Very topical. The national, international news.
Keeping you informed and up to date.
U.S. news, world news, everything.
Still considered top of my local news.
St. Louis is home of Fox News.
Get my news quickly, and it's much easier to get it
on the radio.
FM News Talk 97.1.
Gravity is only a suggestion. Physics is just a theory. Impossible is merely an opinion. Monster Jam, celebrating 25 years of adrenaline-charged family entertainment and selling out stadiums across the country. Tickets are on sale now. Monster Jam returns with 2 huge shows coming to the Don't Let America Center March 3rd and 4th. Don't miss out. Lock in your seats today. For tickets and show details, visit monsterjam.com today.
This is Brad Paisley. How does a good boy become a good man? DeMolay believes that it takes good friends, good activities, and good role models. DeMolay is the only nonprofit youth organization where young men decide on the activities, plan them, and carry them out. But it takes adult volunteers to be the role models that steer them in the right direction. A celebrity isn't necessarily a role model. A role model is a caring, concerned adult like you. To learn more, call 1-800-DEMOLAY or visit them on the web at demolay.org.
Hey guys, Glover here for MeUndies, a new sponsor to the show, and I'm very excited about it. I mentioned it to my son, Nick, who, of course, is 22 years old and super into podcasting, and he had a big reaction like, oh my gosh, MeUndies. Everyone's super into these, and they're supposed to be really soft, and I haven't tried them yet, and do you have a hookup, and can I get, some of these MeUndies underwear? They are soft, flexible, waist-banded, 3 times softer than cotton. It's a brand new ball game with underwear through MeUndies. For men, for women, there's cozy, there's sexy, there's everything. It's a great holiday gift. This year, don't give underwear, give MeUndies. Give a pair to yourself. Give a pair to someone you really like. This holiday season, to get your exclusive 20% off the softest underwear and socks you will ever wear, and free shipping and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/DGS. That's MeUndies.com/DGS. Don't wait. The holiday offer won't last.
What's that?
Oh, holiday card from the Wilsons. Are we friends with them?
Yeah, but I didn't think we were holiday card friends.
When your priority is sending out holiday cards on time, you use the United States Postal Service, because you can't let the Wilsons think they're an afterthought.
Honey, are we also holiday card friends with your mom?
Really? Get your cards out on time with USPS, the United States Postal Service. Priority, you. And now with the Informed Delivery feature, you get a digital preview of your mail before it arrives.
For many businesses, hiring is tough. You want access to highly qualified candidates fast. And you don't want to sign a long-term contract or pay upfront fees. That's why you need Indeed.com, delivering 6 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
The news of the day.
This has been a very close race.
Roy Moore was a terrible candidate.
Every day.
We are awaiting certification by the Secretary of State.
This is bigger than the Reagan 86 tax reform.
It will be bigger than anything ever.
Robbing the future.
We recognize we have employees with political opinions. Were you aware of just how biased Mr. Strzok was? No, I was not.
St. Louis's FM News Talk.
Sexual harassment and misconduct.
FM News Talk 97.1.
Leveled against President Trump.
Younger, smarter.
False and fabricated accusations.
Better.
I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning. And what was in those ships, all 3 on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day? And what was in those ships, all 3 on Christmas Day in the morning? Our Savior Christ and
This is the Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
For the American people, we're going to get the economy roaring back again and improve pay and increase jobs and make America more competitive in the global economy, as well as simplifying the tax code and giving everybody in every tax bracket a tax cut. So this is good news any way you cut it.
Anyway, you slice up that fruit pie. Did you ever have fruit pie? Fruit cake.
Fruitcake. Slice it up.
Why'd they ever make that stuff, fruitcake? But we know why they made a tax cut, Bill. Because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's going to help everyone. Got a little sting there for you. Merry Christmas week here from the Tim Jones Show. Ken and I were just talking about Sting in the break, and what a cool dude he is. So he released an album. I looked it up. Back in 2009, my wife got it for me that year for Christmas. And that song's not on it, but a lot of other cool things are on it. It's called If on a Winter's Night. If on a Winter's Night. The front cover is him walking through some, like, desolate northern forest with, like, a wolf. Because he's that cool.
Yeah.
Only Sting can do that.
Yeah.
You know, he's that cool. So, We got Nick Schroer coming up here next. I'm going to get to a couple quick callers who want to ask questions about this tax bill. Then we'll get to Nick, Representative Schroer here. John, good evening. Welcome to the Tim Jones Show.
Well, hey, Tim. How are you doing today?
Well,
and Merry Christmas to you. I hope you get everything you want for Christmas and nothing you deserve, buddy.
John, go right ahead. I got Representative Nick Schroer on the line, so I got to get to him. So go ahead.
Okay. Hey, this tax bill, the GOP tax bill.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I'm one of those middle-class guys. My kids are older than 17. They still live with me when they're going to college. My taxes actually go up under this bill. I'm self-employed. I own two businesses, and my taxes are going up. So how can you say that it's good for everyone?
Now, how do you know that, John?
I've already, since I do my own taxes, the S Corp and the pass-through, all that causes my taxes to go up. I've run the numbers on taxes for 2016, and based on that, my taxes are going up about $1,800.
What about 2017, this tax year?
This tax year, it's not over, but based on the projections that I'll make, my taxes go up about $2,200.
All right. Well, I want you to call me back, John, after you definitely know that for sure, and we can chat about that.
But that, I'm knowing for sure. And here's what I'm going to say. Here's where I lose it at is you double the exemptions. The exemptions are eliminated. I got a family of 4.
Right.
My Schedule A. My deductions last year were $15,000.
So the deductions go to $24,000.
Correct, but I lose $16,000 in exemption, $16,100. I'm sorry, $16,200 in exemptions, which would have lowered my taxes. You see where I'm going here?
I do, John, but see, I'm not a CPA,
you're not a CPA.
I think you need to go see one, John. John, I think you need to go see a CPA because I've read all about this and a family.
Nothing, Tim.
Okay, so John, you're going to talk. So you're going to talk over me. You're going to talk over me.
You're a liar, though.
Are you going to let me talk?
Go ahead if you want
family,
to have a conversation.
75,000. John, are you going to let me talk? It's my show. Let me talk. I took your call. Let me talk. Family of 4, making $75,000 will gain an additional tax benefit of $2,000. Family of 4 making $150,000 will gain an additional benefit of over $4,000.
How old are the kids?
So, John, I think you need to.
If the kids are older than 17, they don't get the tax
credit. John, tell you what. You're not a CPA. Go consult a CPA and get back to me. Will you make me that deal?
I don't need to do a CPA
Hey, John.
to do my taxes.
Hey, John.
I'm smart enough to do that.
John.
Boy.
John, go talk to a CPA who doesn't have your animus.
Boy.
Lawyer boy. Now you're going to call me names. John, you know what, John? You lost all your credibility. John, you lost all your credibility because now you're attacking me.
You have no credibility.
Hey, John. Hey, John.
Hey, do you do your own taxes?
John, no, I get a CPA to do them because I believe in experts, which you're not. Hey, John, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I know you hate Donald Trump. Keep on hating, John. Keep on hating America.
I love you, buddy.
Hey, have a great night, John. See you later. Yeah, that's John. I knew who that was as soon as he started. As soon as he called me a name, that's my buddy John. That is Soros-funded John. These guys are seminar callers, folks. Let me tell you, I recognize the voice as soon as he attacked me because that's where he goes. When I start asking him questions, John then always attacks me because John can only keep it together for so long, folks. People like Damon who called Almond Show this week, John, all these guys. I will bet money on it that everything John just told me was absolutely false. He's reading from a set of talking points. He's paid to do this by some Soros-funded operation. He'll say, well, I never get a check from George Soros. Well, he gets it from American Progress or whatever. John is paid to call stations like this. He had a sheet in front of him. Did you hear him with all those little details about, but my kids are this age and not that age? John doesn't want to talk facts. He wants to talk his little talking points. These folks are paid to call these stations, and that's what they do. Let's talk to someone who's not paid to call in. Let's talk to Representative Nick Schroer. Hey, Nick, how you doing?
I am doing great, and Tim, I promise this Christmas season I will not call you a name.
Hey, Nick,
I'll reserve that for another holiday.
Nick, isn't it true that? And you see this probably as well when you deal with, I know you deal with all your constituents, whether they voted for you or not, whether they voted for Donald Trump or not, whether they voted for Governor Greitens or not. Have you found out, like I have, that people who dislike, and the dislike is always really big, right, the president or the governor, that they're just going to hate on anything they do because they're afraid it's going to work, right?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And just this past week, I put a post out on Facebook applauding the governor for digging through the mess that the VA is and figuring out after they try to do a search of the issues that have been brought to them themselves, coming back with no solution. Greitens had a third party come in and actually figured out that there were, our veterans are being mistreated. And I applauded him for that. We still had the far left that is politically polarized at this point. You can thank Obama for that. But you have these people that are so far left, they can't even say, hey, no matter, if I agree with his politics or not, this was the right decision. And our governor's doing some great things. Our president's doing some great things. And, we just have to put the politics aside and look at the policy. Exactly. And, Nick, I'm going to keep you on here, but I hope Ellen can hang on the line. Ellen just called in. And, Ellen, if you can hang on, I already cut way into Nick's time arguing with Goofy John, who I recognized who he was after when he started attacking me. Ellen says all John needs to do is change from an S Corp to a C Corp, and he gets all the benefits. But, see, Nick, the left doesn't want to talk facts, right? They want to talk emotion. They hate the fact that Trump won it over a year ago. They can't get over it. And, Nick, what they're afraid of is that we're going to have our third, our fourth, our fifth, and our sixth quarter of GDP growth all over 3% next year. Unemployment's going to go down to as low as it can go. It's already the lowest it's been in 20 years. Nick, they're afraid that all this stuff is going to work, right? That's what they're most afraid of. Well, I agree with you, but now they're claiming that this is the result of Obama, who couldn't get it done for 8 years. And finally, you put somebody in who knows how to run successful businesses, and you see a booming economy. You see unemployment at record lows, stock market at record highs, and people, they have wages. Wages have increased, and now you've seen in this holiday season, people are spending more money. That was a report on CBS this morning. So, no, not thanks, Obama. Thank you for making America great again. Thank you for giving us that American spirit, cutting regulations. The mere thought of cutting taxes is making our stock market just set a new record high every day, and I'm looking forward to what's going to happen after this bill gets signed. Nick, I couldn't agree with you more because, I would give Obama some credit if something happened over those 8 years. But look what year to year to year to year to year over those 8 years. Of course, you're going to have a recovery after a major recession. This is America. That always happens. But look at the recovery we had for 8 years. It was anemic. It was slow. It was stumbling. What was the difference maker? Somebody else occupied 1600 Pennsylvania as of January 19th or 20th of this year, and everything changed overnight. I mean, how can they say that Obama can take credit for this, Representative Schroer, when he had 8 years and it just kind of it was just this slow plot, and now everything's turned on a dime during the current presidency. It's too dramatic. Well, they get away with it because the media doesn't want to cover it. The media doesn't want to cover the fact that, whether you talk about tax cuts and how every time tax cuts have been effectively initiated across different states and across the nation, look at JFK, look at Reagan. Tax cuts work. They stimulate the economy. They put more money in our pockets. And where are we going to spend it? Right here at home. Exactly. Exactly. And I'm looking forward to my colleague, another freshman, Senator Bill Eigel from St. Charles County, the tax plan that he had rolled out and filed, now getting backed by a bunch of House members. I'm very, very happy to see some of the fixes that he's put in there because that's going to make Missouri boom like we've never seen. Speaking to Representative Nick Schroer from the County of St. Charles. Nick, I'm going to hold you over if you can hang on for a couple minutes. We'll have a quick break and come right back to you. I want to talk to you about your Raise the Age bill because that's getting a lot of attention in the local media, and I would like you to explain that. And then, yes, I'd like you to talk a little bit more about Senator Bill Eigel's major tax reform bill. He's going to try to help make Missouri's economy great again like we're seeing on the federal level. So let's talk about it when we come back, Nick. Sounds good. Absolutely. Tim Jones here on the Tim Jones Show. FM News Talk 97.1. Representative Nick Schroer continues with us after this quick break, so you're going to want to keep it right here. Christmas Day, and what was in no ships are free on Christmas Day in the morning. Our Savior Christ and His Lady on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Our Savior Christ and His Lady on Christmas Day in the morning.
For the American people, we're going to get the economy roaring back again.
Christmas Day, pray with us, sail those ships are free on Christmas Day in the morning.
This is the Tim Jones Show
For those who are telling me to shut up, they told Hillary that a couple of months ago. You know what I tell them? Go to hell.
on FM News Talk 97.1.
Final week of the Allman 12 Days of Christmas, and we're giving away prizes from Gulf Shores Restaurant and Grill, Marcus Warenberg Theaters, El Monstero, and the STL Motorcycle Show. Register to win these daily prizes and be sure to sign up for the grand prize at 971talk.com. Brought to you by Next Radio.
Diamonds Direct makes Christmas shopping easy with our first ever Ready to Wrap event this weekend. Get special pricing and 3 years zero interest financing on all earrings, all bracelets, and all pendants. Guys, these are can't miss Christmas classics that fit nicely in her stocking. Biggest ever selection. Stud earrings, hoop earrings, tennis bracelets, diamond pendants, home run gifts. So easy to pick out and so easy to buy. With special pricing and 3 years no interest financing. It's Diamonds Direct's Ready to Wrap event. Holiday shopping made easy. Friday through Sunday only. Olive and 270.
Winter is here. Time to get your home weather tight with roofing, siding, windows, and more from Arrowhead Building Supply. Rick Pogue here to tell you that Arrowhead is the choice of our local contractors because of our large selection and excellent customer service. Remember that your house contracts in the winter cold, and the result of this behavior can be water and wind infiltration, both of which result in high energy and repair costs. Come visit our St. Peter's or Peebly showrooms in Missouri or the Fairview Heights showroom in Illinois today. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
I ordered some Andro 400. I'm losing weight, too, around the belly really quickly. Some of the pants that didn't fit me, now they're falling off my hips. There's been a noticeable increase in energy. And this stuff works. It does work.
That's what Bill said after taking Andro 400 for a month. Now listen to what Richard says about Andro 400.
I did a lot of research on it before I ordered it because I've tried other products in the past and they haven't worked. But I could not believe the difference literally within a month. Since I started taking it, I have lost 37 pounds. It was the belly fat. I could get weight off, but I could never get the tummy off. Now the tummy's coming off, and I have more energy than I've had in 20 years.
Guys, if you too want to lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel 20 years younger like Richard, try Andro 400, the safe, natural, and affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. That's 888-400-0435.
I hate water softeners. I really hate softeners. I hate the thought of lugging salt and that it ruins septic systems. But I hate hard water that causes lime scale, which costs thousands in appliance damage and wasted energy.
Stop hating and start loving again with the HydroCare Smart Descaler from Wave Home Solutions. Prevent and eliminate lime scale the smart way. No maintenance, no salt, no plumbing required, and better than magnetic wraps. 1 year performance guaranteed. Go to IHateMySoftener.com. IHateMySoftener.com.
As a small business owner, you make every dollar count. So what could you do with $10? Go to Vistaprint.com today and you'll get 500 high-quality custom business cards for only $9.99. That's less than 2 cents per card. And at Vistaprint, your satisfaction is absolutely guaranteed. So it's never been easier to turn 500 strangers into connections. Just visit Vistaprint.com and use promo code 7979 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 7979.
Janie Allman in the morning.
Hey, Monday, all the nuttiness from around the weekend, people. Gateway pundit joining us, Rod the Bod, Rob Rains on the latest Cardinal moves in the 12 Days of Christmas.
On FM News Talk
97.1.
This is the Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Okay. Welcome to the Tim Jones Show. John Deere, John Cougar, John 316.
Mm-hmm.
Merry Christmas, everyone. It's Christmas week. We've got Representative Nick Schroer standing by the line, and I cut into his time with Crazy John. Ken, I should have known that was him when the first thing he said to me, I kind of glossed over it. He said, this is how John starts his conversation with me when I picked up his phone call to cut into poor Representative Schroer's time. Hope you get nothing you want and everything you deserve.
Exactly.
That's what he said.
I kind of laughed, and
Then I'm like,
probably
wait a
gonna
minute.
keep that.
Yeah, that's perfect. You should. Let's clip that. John, you're famous. We're going to make you famous. But, folks, we figured out who that was. That was Seminar Caller John. That was Talking Points John. He had his little sheet that he got today from his Soros-funded, far left-wing lunatic group, and he was reading off because he's like, okay, so I got a family of 4, I got an escort, blah, blah, blah. Well, caller Ellen, I couldn't get her on the air. She had to go, but her point was, you switch to a C Corp, John. You don't purposefully be a moron so you get taken advantage of by... It's not anybody's fault that the IRS has a million different ways to take your money away. The Republicans are going to make it simpler. This tax plan is going to be simpler for America. Not as simple as I wanted. Look, folks, this tax plan, I wish it had gone a lot further. But we can't sit here and nickel and dime and pick it apart. The majority of Americans, as Senator John Cornyn said, every middle-class American is going to have more money in their pocket, but these left-wing lunatics are so upset because they want that money in government's pocket. Let's talk to Ryan, who's had the opposite experience over the last year. Ryan, welcome to the Tim Jones Show.
Thank you for having me, sir. I appreciate it. I just wanted to address that it was Crazy John, wasn't it, is what you called him?
It was, yeah.
He was talking about his kids not being exempt, but then he said that they're over the age of 17. What do you have 4 kids in the house for over the age of 17 that are not out on their own?
See, Ryan, the more we pick apart and analyze John's call, we realize that probably nothing he said was actually based in reality, and he's a seminar caller.
It seems like nothing any of these liberal shills say or these liberal cultist members say is based in reality. I can say from experience, and I'll tell you, I've been a Republican or leaning towards the conservative side rather for a very long time now. And I was turned towards that side. When I was younger, I was Democrat and bucked the establishment and all that, just like anybody else.
So Ryan, so you've participated in both sides of the political spectrum.
Yes, sir, I have. And even, in fact, I have been, for the longest time, on housing assistance. I am a full-time single father of 3. I've had to live on the horrible and vicious circle of Social Security disability income, which, at the same time, I'm blessed we have a country where we can make sure, nobody starves. We have channels to go through. But it is a horrible and vicious cycle that you can't get out of, and you haven't been able to get out of until now with President Trump implementing these things and bringing confidence back to the U.S. economy, because you'd be so scared to walk away from it that your family could starve when whatever job you goes to tanks, or they can't pay you, or you can't get hours or anything. And now, over the last year, I've been able to come out of it. I've just finished applying for the licenses to start my own business and getting the permissions and everything, and I'm now able to do that. I'm now able to rise out of the poverty level, and I see a future for me and for my kids and everything. And I cannot understand for the life of me, in fact and logic, why people still rail against the things that President Trump is trying to do. It's not even that he's trying to help the country. It's the man wants you to be where he is. He wants you to help yourself. He wants you to have everything, and he's not done anything wrong to anyone. Who cares if you don't like what the man says? That's too bad.
Right. Ryan, that's what it's all about for them. They just don't like that they lost power. That's the biggest thing. Even more than not liking the man, they thought they were going to have another 4 years of Obama-nomics everything, and it was going to be 12 years of this country being shifted hard to the left. And that's, I think, what they're most upset about, Ryan. Then they're upset about Donald Trump, the man, second. But, Ryan, God bless you. I mean,
thank you, sir. He does every day.
I really appreciate you calling in tonight. That I could tell that was from the heart. I don't know you from Adam, and I am glad that you called to my show tonight, because you are what makes America great. It's not just a cliche. I'm so glad you're doing better. I got to get back to Representative Nick Schroer, though. But, Ryan, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well, and a Merry Christmas.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, Representative Nick Schroer, that was a little better lead-in caller, wasn't it, for you?
That was, yeah. It's stories like that, the middle class, that they recognize what more money in their pockets can do, because I think these families, these individuals that are living paycheck to paycheck, they know what's going to be best for them when they have that extra $100, $200, $300 in their pocket. And I've been referring a lot of my constituents. I don't know the website offhand. If my constituents or anybody wants to reach out to me, I can give that to you, but there's a website out there that's a nonpartisan organization, drew up this calculator, and you can factor in all these different things that are going on in your life to see how this most current tax plan would impact you. And for myself, I think we're getting a couple grand extra if this were to become law. And the families that are living in my area, the ones that I've talked to, they're going to be extremely happy. They're going to have more money in their pockets, and they're going to be more successful in the end.
So there you go, right from Representative Nick Schroer's mouth. And I can tell you, Nick's a great guy. He's a hardworking young lawyer, works for a great company, Arrowhead Building Supply, our friends the Pogues there. But they're not paying you millions of dollars yet, are they, Nick?
No. I still think of myself. We're a young family. We've got two.
You've got two
my
kids.
Wife was in labor the other week for 24 hours and 15 minutes. So she is amazing. I had to give her some accolades for that. But yeah, we've got two young daughters. We're very hard workers. My wife has a master's in nursing. I've got a law degree, and we're doing what we can and making our family comfortable while trying to keep some extra so we can be happy in retirement. That's all that the people in St. Charles County want, is to be comfortable, to make sure that they can provide for their families and future generations.
So there you go. Representative Nick Schroer has done his research. He's a family of 4, 2 hardworking adults raising 2 young girls. He says the tax plan will benefit him. So I mean, we could do the anecdote thing, right, Nick, all night long. But what the point is, we've already have these numbers, right, Nick, that it's really hard to keep ignoring them because they're so explosive. I mean, the market is on the doorstep of hitting 25,000. I think when Trump took office, it was around 19 something. We've got unemployment at 20-year lows. We've got wages on the rise. We're going to hit our third quarter of 3% GDP growth. At some point, the left is not going to be able to anecdote and Russia collusion their way out of this, are they?
No, they're gonna sway to a different argument on sexual allegations that have already been brought up. They have been brought up for 30, 40 years. They're brought up right at the time when he's running for office against corrupt Hillary. And these have been dealt with previously. They're going to change it when Russia's story fizzles out. They're going to bring it to something else. And when that story fizzles out, 8 years down the line, when everybody in this country is doing better off than they were before under Obama, they're still going to be kicking and screaming about something that they don't agree with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Partisan politics that runs the gambit.
Unfortunately, and it's become very polarized. Hey, Nick, let's go back to the Missouri legislature. You all go back to in session, can you believe it, in less than 3 weeks, January 3rd, Wednesday, and you've got an aggressive legislative agenda. Tell us about this raise the age bill you've got that you're picking up for your good buddy, Representative Robert Cornejo, this year.
Yeah, so this raise the age bill, it's a great bill. 45 other states across the nation have passed it. So we're talking far left and far right states have passed it, and they've seen some extreme success, fiscal success. What it does essentially in the state of Missouri, we're one of 5 states that still prosecute 17-year-olds automatically for the most minor crimes as adults. And it doesn't matter if they have a long history, a criminal record, or if this is their first time doing something stupid, which a lot of young kids do. But what this would do is the first step for most crimes would be the juvenile justice system. In the juvenile justice system, when I was a defense attorney, defending a lot of these young kids in the system, it's not a free pass. It is holding them accountable, putting them on the right track, getting their families reintegrated into their life. And ultimately, we're seeing in 45 other states, and which we're going to see in our state, the recidivism rates, which are the reoffending rates, are rock bottom. So when these juveniles that are placed in the criminal justice system get out, they're 3 times more likely to reoffend than those put in the juvenile justice system that get out.
Wow.
And ultimately, who's paying for that? Who's paying for their attorney? Who's paying for their court costs? Who's paying for their room and board in the county jail? We are the taxpayers.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, so a common sense conservative bill that also deals with the issue of criminal justice. You kind of got it wrapped all into one.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, I call it the shotgun impact of it because it's spread out. There's so many great benefits to this bill. You're keeping families together. Parental rights, when, let's say, if one of my kids, 17 years old, gets in trouble, they're cutting me out. I can't be a part of the court process. I can't be a part of the interrogation. So they're giving me my rights back over my juvenile kid in these states that have passed raise the age. It's been proven that the impact on crime in these 45 other states, it's cutting crime in half, it's keeping our communities safe, and it's putting more money back in taxpayer pockets.
Okay, now I'm not joking here. Can you get our good buddy Representative Bruce Franks to sign on to this and do something positive for the state of Missouri?
This is one of the things that me and Bruce Franks agree on, and he co-sponsored the bill.
There you go. Well, look at you.
So yeah,
you beat me
this
to
bill
it.
last year. This year rather, this past session was co-sponsored by an incredible amount of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle. And another thing which is astonishing, it's been backed by right-wing organizations like ALEC and the Show Me Institute, but it's also backed by far-left organizations like ACLU. So this is one of the only topics that I've ever seen where you have people like myself, Bruce Franks, ALEC, and ACLU all in favor of it because there's so many great impacts of it, or benefits of it.
Representative Nick Schroer, bipartisan peacemaker.
That's me.
Hey, we're gonna get I didn't want to get him on at the end of the year because people are a little distracted. I mean, we obviously from the phone lines tonight, which just lit up over the last hour. We have a lot of people listening, but I wanted to get him on in the beginning of the legislation. We are going to get you and Bruce on here together, and we can duke it out in a civil way. I'll be the moderator on the things that we disagree with, but it sounds like we're going to have some agreement on some things.
Yeah, on some aspects of criminal justice reform. Bruce, who was a protester in Ferguson. I grew up in Ferguson, lived there half of my life. But there's certain other aspects like this protester bill that I have where I don't think that protesters should be, which the Constitution agrees with me, Supreme Court agrees with me. Protesters do not need to be stopping traffic and stopping other people in their rights. My rights end where yours begin, and that's what is relevant in all, in this conversation. Which other people like my friend and colleague Bruce Franks can't recognize.
Well, we'll have you guys on. Hey, Nick, I got 2 minutes left. Tell me why you think Senator Bill Eigel's tax reform bill for Missouri will be beneficial to our state if you all can get that across the finish line by next May.
Well, very quickly, it does fix that standard deduction language, which a lot of people are concerned about with the federal tax bill. It also it cuts a lot of these tax credits and reformats the entire tax credit manifesto. But it brings in a lot of money for transportation and infrastructure. And right now, our state is taxed like crazy. The general revenue is at record highs, which shows that we're being taxed out the wazoo. So this is the perfect time where we can actually peel back a little bit and, cut spending, cut the amount of money that we're taking from constituents' pockets. And I think, when you look through this very solid plan that he has, this is the biggest tax cut that Missouri would ever have. And it is going to do great things in, just right alongside with the federal tax thing.
Absolutely. Hey, Nick, as the legislative session begins, people need to follow their legislators, especially ones like you who are very active on social media. How can they find you?
My website, Nick4Rep, all spelled out, NickForrep. It has my Twitter, my Facebook, and my phone number. So reach out to me. You can contact your other legislators, too, to get them to support Raise the Age.
Awesome. And he's at Nick B. Schroer on Twitter. Folks, follow him. He's fun to follow. I do every day. Nick, we will see you in the new year, if not before. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't run into you along the way, but we probably will. Probably see you before then. Take care, Nick. Have a great one. Thank you.
You too.
Hey, unlike John, Nick is looking forward to a brighter future in 2018, just like Ryan and Ellen and so many other Americans. And when peace and prosperity reign across the land and all those things that we are predicting that are coming true already continue to come true next year, John will still call me up and tell me how miserable his life is because he just can't stand Donald Trump. Tim Jones here on the Tim Jones Show at FM News Talk 97. We've got Cassie Smedile in next from the RNC. Keep it right here.
The Tim Jones Show.
Hey guys, Glover here for the fine people at Zero Res Carpet Cleaning. So, no surprise, I'm going to talk to you today about the holidays because it's a real thing. We want our homes to look as good as they can. We have Thanksgiving coming up. We have Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's and birthdays and anniversaries and engagement parties and the whole bit. Plus, it's wintertime, which means we are going to be spending more time inside. And the kids are going to be rolling around and laying around on the carpet, watching television. So you want your carpets to not only look clean, but you want them to be clean because just think about it from a scientific standpoint, gravity. All the nasty stuff of the world from you, from your dogs, from the earth fall down and it falls on your carpet and it gets real bad. Zero Res can clean them expertly. 3 big rooms for just $119. Call 314-474-2020 or go online at ZeroResSTL.com.
At SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, our patients and families often talk about The Glennon Factor. What Glennon gives to our patients. Glennon gives hope for a new day, healing in time of illness, faith to the brokenhearted, compassion for the injured. Our caregivers take that extra step, revealing God's healing presence to all they serve. Join us in providing hope and healing for our patients. Give to Glennon at glennon.org.
The Youth Apprenticeship Program gives me skills for later on in life.
Charlie is part of a registered youth apprenticeship. He's in high school and earning a paycheck while learning a skilled profession through on-the-job training and classroom support. Registered youth apprenticeships are a possibility for students in all career fields, and students can earn college credit and industry-recognized credentials. Go to MissouriApprenticeship.com to find out how to get started. Paid for by a grant from Apprenticeship USA.
Have pain you can't ignore? Then try first-in-class relief from Salonpas. Salonpas pain relief patches have everything you need in one clinically proven solution. They're the strongest label pain reliever available without a prescription, safely relieving pain for up to 12 hours. And Salonpas is the first and only FDA-approved OTC topical pain reliever. For first-in-class relief, get Salonpas pain relief patches in the green box with a blue wave.
For many businesses, hiring is tough. You want access to highly qualified candidates fast. And you don't want to sign a long-term contract or pay upfront fees. That's why you need Indeed.com, delivering 6 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
KFTK FM, Florissant. KFTK AM East St. Louis. K254CR St. Louis.
Powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
FM News Talk 97.1.
There's trouble for an NFL owner. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. An NFL team now for sale and its owner facing allegations of workplace misconduct. We get more live now from Fox's Ryan Mayer.
The 81-year-old owner of the Carolina Panthers, Jerry Richardson, will be putting his team up for sale, according to a statement from the team. Richardson has owned the franchise since its inception in 1995, but had found himself in hot water as of late due to allegations of sexual harassment made against him. The team opened an investigation into those allegations on Friday before asking the league to take over today. Panthers are the first NFL franchise to be put up for sale since the Buffalo Bills were sold to Terry Pegula back in 2014. Paul?
Ryan, thanks. Some power finally restored at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport after an outage today created travel nightmares at the world's busiest airport. Almost 1,400 flights canceled or delayed. Delta and Southwest saying they're canceling operations in Atlanta for tonight. Georgia Power saying a fire causing damage to an underground electrical facility may have been the reason. They hope to have all that power back on by midnight. Arizona GOP Senator John McCain set to miss an upcoming vote this week on a tax code overhaul due to his medical condition. He's battling cancer and now a viral infection.
Fox is told by multiple sources that regardless of McCain's presence or not, they should be able to pass the tax bill whether he was there or not, or voting for it or against it.
Fox's Chad Pergram in Washington. Pop and jazz singer Keely Smith has died. She was 89 years old. She began touring with Louis Prima's band back in 1948, and the two got together and they won a Grammy Award for their hit, That Old Black Magic.
Under the old black magic called love, I should still.
Smith also releasing a number of solo recordings of jazz standards over her 7-decade career. Her publicist saying she died of heart failure in Palm Springs on Saturday. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
The exclusive FM News Talk 97.1 Weather Center forecast. Mild with increasing clouds tonight, a low of 40. There'll be a little morning rain tomorrow, otherwise cloudy. A chilly day, high of 49. Remaining rather cloudy tomorrow night, low 44. Clouds breaking for sunshine on Monday, a milder afternoon, high 58. I'm meteorologist Andrew Walker for FM News Talk 97.1.
St. Patrick's Center is a leader in ending homelessness. We've provided housing support to nearly 2,200 clients and their families this year. That's a lot of lives improved. 600 of those were new housing placements. Ending homelessness requires resources. Half of our funding comes from the generosity of St. Louis area individuals and businesses. Please continue to invest in St. Patrick's Center. Your gift changes a life. Donate at stpatrickcenter.org or call 314-802-0700.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
You hear the phrase a lot this time of year, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. But holidays are not always happy, particularly for guys grappling with a divorce that they didn't choose. Suddenly these husbands and dads are thrust onto battlefields where the fate of everything they care about will be decided. In the meantime, they must await the outcome in someone else's home this holiday season. These men need more than the help of a good lawyer. They need the hope and encouragement of a good friend. Chances are I've described someone that you count among your friends. Be sure to remember him this season.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's St. Louis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 314-725-0000. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Chesterfield, St. Charles, Arnold, Edwardsville, and Belleville.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm Brian from 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Neither rain nor sleet nor gloom of night will keep us from hauling away your junk. How about a flood? Not even that. Tornado? Nope. Blizzard? Nope. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. What are you trying to say? When you've got junk that needs to disappear, all you have to do is point. Don't worry about how or if we can get there. We can. And we will. I love working with these guys. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
I'm Chris Walls, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. I actually don't even think about food. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad is it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. The second month is where I saw a drastic change in the size of my stomach. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Trending on FM News Talk 97.1.
Tax cut. I think almost all our guys will be voting for it next week.
It's a monumental con job.
Criminals who kill police officers should get the death penalty.
Stay connected.
The internet.
Net neutrality.
Burdensome regulations.
Well, it's a shame what's happened with the FBI. The rogue regime in Iran.
FM News Talk 97.1.
A threat to the peace and security.
Younger, smarter.
Of the entire world.
Better.
This is the Tim Jones Show.
You can't erase history and expect to not repeat it. Everything's hunky-dory as long as you agree with me.
I think there's a revival in the city. It's just typical liberalism.
The Tim Jones Show.
If there's anything that we need more in the state of Missouri, it's population growth.
He is a businessman. I've owned 3 small businesses. They are one-sided. They just say the American taxpayer will take care of it.
I think all of this stuff, Tim, is more orchestrated than a Nancy Pelosi bowel movement.
The Tim Jones Show on FM News Talk 97.1.
Nobody thought it would be anywhere close. I think we can go to 4, 5, and maybe even 6% ultimately. Each percentage point is $2.5 trillion. We are back. We're really going to start to rock. We need this as our final push, and you're going to see some numbers that are great. But most importantly, you're going to see great job numbers. Jobs are going to come pouring back into this country, which we...
Yes, making the tax code great again. Boy, does it need a lot of help. So that's President Donald Trump. It's either today, I think it might have been today or yesterday, as he was heading over to either to or from Camp David. He went to Camp David this weekend, and talking about the fact the tax cut plan is almost across the finish line.
And you know what I noticed about it is when you saw President Obama walking to the helicopter, he never stopped to talk to the press. And even though the press has been hostile toward Trump, he just goes in there and talks to him every time.
Well, they couldn't figure out how to fix the teleprompter in the ground from flying into the rotor blades, Ken, with Obama. Hey, welcome to the Tim Jones Show. This is Tim Jones. That's Ken Williams here on FM News Talk 97.1. Merry Christmas week as we head you towards the holiday. Thanks for joining us here tonight. And joining me now, I am thrilled to have, you all should be thrilled to have this next guest on because she's a Missouri native. She is Cassie Smedile, the RNC National Press Secretary from Kansas City, Missouri. Cassie, good evening.
Hey, guys. I already feel like I'm home for Christmas. Thanks for the warm welcome.
Well, we're very happy to have you. Am I saying your last name right? Is it Smedile?
Yes, you got it.
Oh, I got it. Very good. Well, Cassie, thanks so much for joining us on a Sunday evening. But as you know, Sunday evenings are important, right? Because they set up Monday morning. And I bet that's very true in your life. And you're going to have a busy week this week, aren't you? Maybe everybody thought, in the past, I guess everybody was kind of done by now. But this is a president that works almost 24/7. He keeps you all hopping, doesn't he?
Oh, he absolutely does. And my favorite is when Democrats and reporters say, we just can't keep track of him and we're just not used to this routine. And you talk to folks from where I stand, and when I call my parents back home, they're like, we love it. He just never sleeps. He never stops. He never allows Washington to get comfortable in their bureaucracy. It's really, for as busy as it keeps us, it's a lot of fun because we're keeping things moving. And as of this week, we're going to get a really big thing done.
Excellent. Well, Cassie, I noticed that you came from the Hill. You worked for Senator Todd Young, and you just became. I looked up the press release, and just in August. So, what is it like being the National Press Secretary for the RNC, especially during this time?
Well, it's a lot of fun. But I have to say one thing that the RNC for the last 8 years, of course, was just trying to expand our majorities and punch back against the Obama administration. And now we've got a policy agenda to push and to help the president get across the finish line. And so I didn't expect to use as much of my Hill experience as I have. But as a Hill nerd, it's been a lot of fun to work on this and be getting this tax reform done from a political perspective. I mean, we've got 200 activists across the country in over 20 states, including Missouri, of course, who have been helping to get this thing done. They're knocking on doors, making phone calls, getting petitions signed, holding meetings with folks to help drive that momentum. And it's really funny that you've still got Democrats who aren't willing to vote for this bill, because I can tell you what, Claire McCaskill, there's a lot of momentum for this tax reform. We know it. We've been on the ground just like a traditional grassroots program. And it's been a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yeah, Cassie, you're right. I mean, the fact that Democrats are gonna forego this opportunity to participate in the first major tax reform in this country since Ronald Reagan of this magnitude, they really do it at their own peril. I agree with you. And so, Cassie, we had every once in a while, we get one of the liberal seminar callers to call into the show, and somebody called in the first hour, and they had their talking points, and we had 5 other callers call in and pick them apart. But, Cassie, for a middle-class family of 4, middle-class Missouri family of 4, you've been following this bill. You said you were a Hill nerd. I'm sure you've been looking at this thing. Is it going to help or hurt the middle class? Who's correct in this as you watch the Sunday shows this morning?
Help. Republicans are looking out first and foremost for the middle class. In fact, I got to tell all your listeners, go to paycheckpresident.com. You can see right there any number of examples of how this is going to be really helpful to average Americans. It's a car repair that you've been putting off. It's putting a little bit more away for retirement savings. It's maybe thinking or dreaming of a family vacation. These are all conversations that a lot of Americans haven't felt comfortable having for the past several years because we were just doing what we could to get by, right?
Absolutely.
And the fact that we are talking about a tax cut that lets people not just get by, but get ahead is a really exciting conversation to have. And again, I remember several months ago when Donald Trump started his quest for tax reform, where did he go? Missouri.
He did.
And what did he say? Claire McCaskill, if you don't vote for this, you don't deserve to be reelected. And here we are coming down to the finish line, and you hear Mom from her. She seems to have no interest in doing anything to help her constituents in Missourians. She's only helping Chuck Schumer and the Democrat leadership.
You know, Cassie, it would have been, and we're speaking to Cassie Smedile, who is the RNC National Press Secretary. She's a Missourian. She's from Kansas City, Missouri. Cassie, it would have done Claire McCaskill a lot of good to perhaps come back to her home state during September when President Trump visited Springfield, and I went down there with our media team, and we heard what he had to say, and then we watched the next few months, and we analyzed it, and then he came back a few weeks ago, and Claire McCaskill would have seen thousands of Missourians, some of whom did not even get into the event because they packed people in like sardines. She would have seen how excited Missourians are. Cassie, how can Claire McCaskill say that she knows this is not good for Missourians when Missourians seem to have figured out that it is good for their pocketbooks?
You're right. She's just been hanging out in her bubble on the set of Morning Joe, going on MSNBC as opposed to being at home, listening to folks, talking to folks. And to your point, you don't have to look very far to catch the enthusiasm and the sentiment of what Missourians want. Frankly, what we need. I mean, when I go home, how many years do you drive down streets and every time I go home, there's one more store going out of business or one more boarded up. And now you've got hiring, job seekers wanted, entrepreneurism up, and people are excited about what's to come. And if she doesn't want to be a part of that, then she should not be a part of the United States Senate.
Speaking to Cassie Smedile, she's the National Press Secretary for the RNC and also a Missouri native from Kansas City. Cassie, shifting gears a little bit, I'm a former prosecutor. That was my first career out of law school. And there's a lot of checks and balances built into our legal system. That's why it is the best and most fair in the world. I am very concerned about what I'm seeing coming out of this Mueller investigation, where he's apparently hired Hillary Clinton's fan club as all of his assistants. And I have a lot of respect for Mueller, but it's starting to chip away every week that I hear about another agent that has a conflict and another agent that was hoping and praying that Hillary Clinton would win and Donald Trump would lose, and another agent who's caught with their hand in the cookie jar, or another agent editing things so Hillary Clinton wouldn't get in trouble. How can anyone take this? The FBI was the preeminent law enforcement group in the world. There's a lot of hardworking men and women that are good people, but it seems like the political apparatus that Mueller has set up is really tarnishing their great history and record.
I couldn't agree with you more. And to your point, it is very unfortunate what these few are doing to the reputation of so many really good agents and people associated with the FBI. And I think at the beginning we heard President Trump say, I'm going to let this investigation go forward so you can see there's no collusion, there's nothing here. And now you've got the growing chorus of Americans who are saying, let's be done with this. Let's get this over with. And now, as you see, to your point, it seems like daily we're not seeing any evidence of collusion with Russia and the Trump administration. We're seeing evidence of collusion with the FBI and Hillary Clinton. And that's increasingly frustrating when you think of the millions of dollars that have been spent on this. And, I think we got to start listening to the American people, start doing the work of getting this agenda passed. And let's put this Russia probe, quote unquote, let's do away with it. I think there were some folks even from the Clinton camp that say we didn't see this back when Clinton was under probe.
Right.
People accepted the election as it was, and they figured out what they did wrong. They got down to business of fixing it for the next time around. This is just crazy that this has gone on this long. And to your point, that now we're really starting to see it for its true colors.
Yeah, it's really run far afield of what its initial purpose was, and it seems like it's never ending. There's no statute of limitations on this thing at all, and they can just keep digging and digging. And apparently the only thing that keeps happening is the Clintons and their cohorts seem to be the ones that were guilty of the things that they're trying to accuse the Trump administration of doing. It's like we're
That's
in
just so
the opposite
unlike the
world.
Clintons to be caught up in shady stuff. It just doesn't remind me of the Clintons at all,
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Cassie, I'll shift gears again on you. It's amazing. I was saying earlier in the show, so much seems to go on in our nation, our world, that, weeks seem like months. But it was just at the beginning of this last week that we had yet another reminder of what I call first world problems, and Islamic terrorism reared its ugly head once again here in the homeland, once again in New York City. Thank goodness the plot was thwarted. But I think I and a lot of other Americans, and I'm sure you want to get back to this issue of illegal immigration next year, and it's. I know the left wants to. They want to emotion. They want to emote everything, right? They want to everything's about emotion and feelings. It's a national security problem as much as determining anything else, isn't it?
Incredibly. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I got to tell you an interesting story. When I was on my way home to Kansas City for Thanksgiving, I had an Uber driver, and he had an audio playing, and it was running through all of these facts about the United States. And I said, "What are you listening to?" He said, "Oh, I'm studying for my citizenship test." He had come from Colombia, and his brother was already a citizen. Now he was here on a green card, and he needed to become a citizen so that then he could bring his mom up here, and she could go through the process. And I said, "What do you love about the United States?" And he said, "Just pride. Look at me. I get to work, and I get to learn English, and I want to raise my family here, and I have nieces and nephews, and I want to be a part of this great country." And I said, "Oh, how do you feel about the immigration debate?" And he said, "I don't know anyone in my family who doesn't believe in legal immigration, because they come from these countries that are absent of the rule of law. And that's why they're escaping these countries." And so interesting to me that Democrats try and act like these immigrants don't want to be here legally and don't want to be here and become Americans and go through our process. Is it flawed? Absolutely. But they are being used as pawns, and it's not even accurate. And so I think what you're seeing with sanctuary cities and with terrorism, that people have no patience for this. And I think the appetite is as strong as ever. I can tell you at the RNC, our number one most responded to emails are about that wall.
Interesting.
And I think there's a reason for that.
Well, I bet you we get back to that issue, that overall issue of illegal immigration, protecting our borders. President Trump is often fond of saying, "Hey, I'm the president of this country, not the world. I want to work with the world. I want the world to do great, but I want America to do great first." Cassie, I got time for one last subject. I want to ask you to look into your RNC crystal ball next year. And we've talked a lot about Claire McCaskill, and I think she's in big trouble here in Missouri as far as becoming reelected. But despite what the media wants to feast on, right? I mean, they're so thrilled that the blue state of Virginia elected another Democratic governor. And okay, what happened in Alabama happened in Alabama, and I call it an anomaly. I don't know that you could ever design that set of facts ever again. They don't want to talk about the overall. I noticed this. The mainstream media, the liberal mainstream media, never wants to talk about the overall Senate map and you don't hear, we Missourians don't hear about this a lot. We hear a lot about the Claire McCaskill race, and Attorney General Josh Hawley is running, and a lot of other folks are seeking that nomination as well. I think Claire's in trouble no matter who runs against her. But isn't there a lot of pickup opportunities for the Senate Republicans across the entire country?
You have got it. The map is the best it's been in more than a generation. We have 10 states in particular that we're really focused on, Missouri among them, but those are states that Donald Trump won in 2016 and have a Democrat up for re-election in 2018. Missouri, Indiana, North Dakota, 10 of them. But more than that, I mentioned earlier that we've been on the ground for tax reform. That's really our dry run for 2018. We've got to date, I think I'm breaking some information here, but I think we've got 23 states that are set up and have staff either in them or that they're building.
Wow.
And we're training activists. We've trained almost as many activists this year than we did the entire last cycle. And we've got a goal to more than double that amount before next year's end. And I think we'll get there because there's incredible enthusiasm for people to come out and be a part of this conversation. And of course, to say nothing of the fact that we just had another record fundraising month. So unlike the Democrats that are struggling to pay the electricity bill, we've got lots of money that we are investing right now in states and people on the ground. And we feel that that's really going to be good news for Republicans in 2018. And if you'll recall, the DNC just recently said at one of their meetings, they're very annoyed because everybody kept saying that Hillary had, I think there was something like 77 offices in Florida, and Trump only had 2 or 3. And they still lost Florida because what they didn't realize is that the RNC was on the ground in Florida and had a permanent presence there. And so Donald Trump didn't need 77 offices because he had the RNC to work with him. And we've got that bigger and better than we ever had before in more states across the country than ever before.
I've gotten to meet a lot of your colleagues, and it is an impressive organization. And Cassie, no matter what the liberal media says every day, no matter what you read, happy days are here again for America. Mm-hmm. And you folks at the RNC just got to keep the Trump train rolling, because I think happier days are ahead.
Appreciate it. It just feels good, right?
It really does.
All things Scott.
Absolutely. Cassie Smedile, who is a Missouri native and national spokesperson, national press secretary for the Republican National Committee. Thank you so much, Cassie, for joining us, giving us so much time. And you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you. Great to be with you all. Thanks so much.
Travel safe home, too. Take care.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was awesome. The Cassie Smedile with the RNC, Tim
Wonderful.
Jones here on the Tim Jones Show. We've got none other than St. Louis County Councilman Mark Harder coming up next in the hot seat. Going to talk about all the budget baloney going on in the county council here on the Tim Jones Show at FM News Talk 97.1.
The Tim Jones Show
This is Armageddon. This is a very big deal.
on FM News Talk 97.1. Log on to 971talk.com for your chance to pick a prize. Each week, we'll select one winner to choose from concert tickets, movie passes, and more. Sign up and see what you could win at 971talk.com. Brought to you by Marcus Warenberg Theaters, where movies every Tuesday are just $5.
Insulate now with the Owens Corning Atticat blown insulation system. It's a fact we throw away hard-earned income with energy loss from poor attic and wall insulation. Poor insulation burns money, and the last thing you need is higher energy bills. Arrowhead Building Supply rents the Owens Corning Atticat insulation system. Spend only a few hours and a few bucks to solve your energy problem. Keep your home comfortable and money in your pocket with Owens Corning Atticat insulation. Visit our St. Peter's or Peebly showrooms in Missouri or the Fairview Heights showroom in Illinois. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
This hour of the Tim Jones Show is brought to you by Convergent Wealth Management, your lifelong financial advocate. ConvergentWM.com.
Gravity is only a suggestion. Physics is just a theory. Impossible is merely an opinion. Monster Jam! Celebrating 25 years of adrenaline-charged family entertainment and selling out stadiums across the country. Tickets are on sale now. Monster Jam returns with 2 huge shows coming to the Dome at America Center March 3rd and 4th. Don't miss out. Lock in your seats today. For tickets and show details, visit monsterjam.com today.
If you're retiring in the next 5 years, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, First Vice President Investments with Stifel and host of On the Money, heard every Saturday from 11 till noon on FM News Talk 97.1. Retirement is a huge step, and when it comes to investing your retirement assets, you can't afford to make mistakes. It's vitally important that you work with an experienced professional to guide you through important retirement decisions. If you're retiring soon, we should meet to develop a clear plan for your retirement goals. Your meeting is an opportunity to understand your retirement situation and discuss how you can proceed. Of course, your consultation is free of charge and requires no obligation on your part. If you're retiring in the next 5 years, now is the time to start planning. To schedule your free retirement plan review, visit bobstockdale.com or call me at 636-448-7655. That's bobstockdale.com or 636-448-7655. Stifel, member FINRA, SIPC, and NYSE.
Hi, this is Tracy Ellis with the Rick and Tracy Ellis Luxury Real Estate Team. I get asked often why we choose to spend our marketing dollars here at 97.1. Number one, we get results. It was also important to Rick and I to spend our marketing dollars with a station who has the same values as we do. We have the most educated listeners, and 97.1 is like our family. They are also dedicated to the success of our business because they understand our success is their success. We've been doing the Rick and Tracy Ellis Show for almost 4 years now here at FM News Talk 97.1, and I can truly say we are part of the 97.1 radio family. Between our shows, live endorsements with Mark Cox, Denise Schaefer, and sponsoring events, if you are looking to grow your business, you can't go wrong with FM News Talk 97.1.
Call Sales Manager Libby Nolan at 314-613-7726 today to see how FM News Talk 97.1 can work for your business.
Hey, Allman here for Aphrodite Granite, AphroditeGranite.com. 3 generations in St. Louis, and now you can get a beautiful granite kitchen starting at just $19.95. Prices at Aphrodite up to 20% lower than the big box stores. Plus, they're the place where the contractors as well as the designers go, so you can't lose. 2 convenient locations, Chesterfield Valley and Sunset Hills.
AphroditeGranite.com. That's AphroditeGranite.com.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at FindWW.
The news of the day.
This has been a very close race. Roy Moore was a terrible candidate.
Every day.
We're awaiting certification by the Secretary of State.
This is bigger than the Reagan 86 tax reform.
It will be bigger than anything ever.
Robbing the future.
We recognize we have employees with political opinions. Were you aware of just how biased Mr. Strzok was? No, I was not.
St. Louis's FM News Talk.
Sexual harassment and misconduct.
FM News Talk 97.1.
Leveled against President Trump.
Younger, smarter.
False and fabricated accusations.
Better.
This is The Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Welcome back. Happy Sunday. Happy Christmas week. It's Christmas. It's always Christmas here at The Tim Jones Show because we give you gifts every Sunday evening to start off your week the right way.
Year-round.
Year-round. Yes, we do. Hey, 971-TALK. Wait. Gotta get 971talk.com / Tim Jones.
Yeah, right.
I got a brain cramp there for a second.
Did it hurt?
Well, Cassie was so awesome.
I know.
Like bowled away. Folks, we podcast every single episode of every show. So you can go to 971talk.com / Tim Jones and listen to that. We just had Cassie Smedile on, who is a Kansas City, Missouri native, and she is the national press secretary for the RNC. How cool is that, Missourians?
Very cool.
It's very cool. You're in the Show Me State. And Representative Schroer on the first hour. We got County Councilman Mark Harder coming up here next. I blew right past. Oh, that was this is Temple. This is the Merry Christmas from Temple of the Dog, by the way.
Love it.
I'm copying off of Jamie Allman because he did it this week with Soundgarden. He played like some hard rock song. He was like, "Well, Merry Christmas from Soundgarden," you know, because everybody's playing Christmas music, right? We are too, but we're also mixing up. Yeah. Well, it's called Heaven, you know?
Right.
There you go. That's Christmassy, right? Kind of?
Yeah.
Christmas-like. Hey, let's do a little mini malpractice.
All right.
Now, The Tim Jones Show presents...
Someone believes some fake news story. Especially by the media.
This is very dangerous to America.
They're corporatist, globalist media.
Media malpractice.
If the Republican tax plan passes Congress, it will mark a watershed for the United States. The medium and long-term effects of the plan are clear. A massive drop in public investment, which will come on the heels of decades of declining spending as a percentage of GDP on infrastructure, scientific research, skills training, and core government agencies. The United States cannot coast on past investments forever, and with this legislation, we are ushering in a bleak future.
Oh, the horror! Armageddon. Fareed Zakaria just he had a meltdown. I played that in front of St. Louis County Councilman Mark Harder, who's joining us now in studio, because Fareed Zakaria could be one of the liberals sitting next to you at the council meeting talking about... Was that his his audience?
Applause, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, he has his audience he brings around with him. That's code words, right? A lot of code words there, right, Mark?
Yeah,
about investments and
from the past,
right?
Yeah, it's a cut if we slow down government growth.
Exactly.
and it's all Armageddon at that point.
So Fareed Zakaria, a famous water carrier for the left, went on his GPS. I actually saw that live today. He comes on. He's the last show of the morning. I think he's mad about that he's at the very end. Everybody's already watching football. But I had him on because I've got to geek out and watch all this stuff. And he comes on with this long face, and he's like, "This is a terrible watershed day for America. Investments of the past." I'm like, you just had Obama. Okay, Fareed, what about the shovel-ready projects of gazillions of dollars that were supposed to stimulate the economy? We were supposed to have this major rebound that we're having now under President Trump. We were supposed to have so Fareed Zakaria, take your investments in the past and the future and shove them where, because it's a false notion, isn't it, County Councilman Harder, that government can spend your way to prosperity.
That's right. And that's what we're facing somewhat in St. Louis County right now. And thank you for having me on your show, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you too, Mark. And so, Mark, tell folks, I don't know who follows what with the county council, but you had something weird happen this last month that hasn't happened in a generation before the county council regarding the budget. What happened?
Well, what happened is that our liberal Democrat friends on the council brought in an idea to cut the budget and to cut the growth.
Oh, don't say that while I'm drinking. I'll choke. Yeah.
Cut the growth of government spending in St. Louis County. So as a very conservative Republican, I can't say no.
You jumped on that bandwagon when it drove past your door.
That's right. And I tooted the horn.
Mark, what got into them, first of all? I have to ask you.
Well, this isn't...
Because the county's facing a little bit of a shortage, right?
Well, we're running a deficit. Every year this time, we work on our budgets, and we put together our budgets for the year. And every year, they put the best face on the budget, and then they go into our rainy day fund. And if there's a deficit, we use the rainy day fund money to balance the budget, because by charter, the county executive has to submit a balanced budget to the council for a vote. And we have an up or down vote by budget. So they've gone into these budgets and taken money for the last probably 10 years to balance our budget based on our savings. So suddenly it's just like your own home. You have a reduction in income, but you don't cut your spending. So you tap your credit card to make ends meet for the year.
Until it runs out.
Or the bill comes due for the credit card. So that's the way we've been living in St. Louis County. So for the first time since I've been on the council, we've decided as a council by a 6-1 vote that we are going to hold back $31 million out of the budget this year, and it will be held back and if the department heads can't live on that new budget, they can come to us and ask us for more money.
Okay.
Using a supplemental appropriation.
Okay.
So the idea is that we cut it back so that we don't have to tap our reserve fund to balance this budget.
And we'll talk about the meaning of cut in government in a minute. We talked about teeing you up in the first hour. We talked about it a little bit then. Let's give folks a little context first of all. How many people generally population St. Louis County of St. Louis?
900,000.
900,000. What size of a budget are you dealing with approximately every year?
700,000. 700 million.
700 million. Okay, so real money, right? So $700 million budget, and the projected shortfall for 2018 is what?
Projected is around 27 million.
Okay. So, that's not insignificant. It's doable, right? It's doable.
Right.
Now, explain to folks when government bureaucrats propose a budget. I don't know if this happens every year in every government institution around the country. I'm talking counties, cities, water districts, state legislatures, whatever. I think, Mark, the general rule is they always come in with a budget that's larger than the year before it.
Correct.
And did they propose a larger budget this year than last year?
Yes.
Okay. So when we're talking about a cut in government language, we're talking about not increasing spending perhaps as much as they would like to.
Correct.
Aha.
And in the case of this proposal, we are taking them back to 2017 spending levels.
Oh, how horrific.
So, that's why we're not calling this a cut. This is a holdback of these funds that they projected that they thought they could grow the government during the next year. So if we go back to our actuals are.
And how many budget bills, like folks need to know this. I know this because I was in a legislature. The budget's not just one big thing, right, that gets dumped in your lap. It's a series of proposals for all the different aspects of county government.
Correct.
So how many do you have to deal with?
I think there's 35 or 38 budget bills. So every major department has a bill of its own.
Okay.
That way we can, if we don't like that budget for that department, say the health department, but we like everything else, we can approve everything else and hold over that one department until we can figure that out.
So out of those,
what it should be.
Out of those 35 plus some odd different bills from different departments, how many departments are you proposing that be affected by this not complete increase in their spending that they're calling a cut?
5.
5.
Yes.
Well, sounds pretty reasonable.
I mean, they're the five largest, or one of the 5 largest.
Because that's where the money is.
Right.
Yeah.
And we didn't go after this as a percentage. We went after the dollars.
Okay.
So we needed a certain amount of dollars. So we went in, and Chairman Sam Page and his folks went in and decided what dollars need to be held back. So what we did, like in the Parks Department, they had budgeted for a new recreation center for Greensfelder Park.
Okay.
Okay. They had budgeted for that in the coming year. Well, and while we met, we asked them questions. Are you going to build that and spend it? No, we're not. We're going to start the project in 2018, but we're not going to spend it all. So why are you budgeting it for? So we're going to hold back that amount of money, which is about $4 million, out of that budget until such time as they actually come to us with a plan for a new rec center.
And that officially, in government language, becomes a cut.
A cut,
even though it's not cutting back anything that was being spent the year before.
It was a proposal.
Right.
We're cutting back a proposal.
Yeah. So, folks, you may be like, your head may be hurting right now because mine is from this, because I never was on the budget committee in the House. I just put really smart people on it, and I knew enough about the budget. But this is what happens when you start talking government budget language, right, Mark? Right. Because there's all this language that normal people don't use when they talk about budgets, that government tries to pretend that there's a cut to services when it's just maybe they're not getting as much money as they wanted for the next year. And let's remember, all of this is your money, folks of the county of St. Louis. They're talking about spending your money, right, Mark? So,
that's right.
Mark, let's get into some more of the specific cuts and like what the heck happens next. You've had this bit of a historic issue come up where Democrats and Republicans on the county council have said, "Whoa, Mr. County Executive Stenger, we're not going to approve this budget. We're not going to rubber stamp it. We're going to try to do the fiscally prudent thing here."
Correct.
So we'll talk about more of that when we come back with County Councilman Mark Harder on the Tim Jones Show right after this.
This is the Tim Jones Show.
This liberal will be all about taking over and the government running all of your companies.
On FM News Talk 97.1.
Watch the Mark Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
So I received the Brook linen bed sheets at my front doorstep, took them out of the box, felt them, and said, why aren't these pants? Why aren't these shirts? Brooklyn and bed sheets, the most comfortable sheets you're ever going to find. And these are soft, smooth, silky, and will sleep you coolly. Beyond compare. Anything else. And speaking of comparisons, I put them on the bed, took the other sheets off, and I was like, I could sand wood with these old sheets, for crying out loud. That's the comparison I made, and you will not want another bed sheet in your life after you sleep on the Brooklyn and bed sheet. Now, here's the deal. You can sleep on them for 60 days, and after 60 days, if you don't like them, you can return them. But here's the deal for you right now. Brooklinen.com has an exclusive offer just for you Allman listeners. You get $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code Allman at Brooklinen.com. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is use the promo code Allman at Brooklinen.com. That's Brooklinen.com, promo code Almond.
Men, are you tired of those daily blue enhancement pills that take days, weeks, or months to work, if they ever work at all? Listen up. Now you can take Red, the new natural male empowerment pill that works on demand. Even your partner will notice the difference the very first time you use it. To prove Red won't disappoint like the others, you're invited to participate in our nationwide I Take Red Partner Reaction Guarantee Trial. We're seeking participants for this nationwide trial, not only to prove it works the very first time you try it. We guarantee your partner will also notice the difference. Forget those slow-acting blue pills and join those who proudly take Red. Over 50,000 pills have already been claimed and supplies are limited. So to ensure your participation in this free nationwide trial, you must call now.
Superior virility on demand. You only need to take Red once to see what all the fuss is about. Call immediately to participate in our free nationwide trial. Call 800-662-3583. 800-662-3583. Be one of thousands to proudly say, I take Red. 800-662-3583.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Many experts warn of a stock market crash any day now. And if it's anything like the last two crashes, you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings in the Wall Street casino. Can you afford to lose half of your retirement savings again? Hey, you don't have to lose a penny because there's a better, safer way to save for retirement. And you can learn all about it in a free report. This is the report Wall Street and big banks desperately hope you never see. Why? Because this method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. It lets you take back control of your money and finances, and it gives you penalty-free access to your savings. Plus, it beats the pants off any 401k or IRA. These are uncertain times, so get the information you need today to guarantee your retirement security. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com right now. That's bankonyourself.com. bankonyourself.com.
Hi, I'm Tammy of Tammy Mitchell Hines & Company Real Estate Team, and we want to be the realtors to help you buy or sell your next home. Are you thinking about selling your house? Well, now is the perfect time. Homes are selling faster than ever if they are priced right and well staged. We also know that buying a home is one of the biggest investments you may ever make, but that doesn't mean it has to be stressful. Our amazing team of full-time realtors can help guide you through the entire process from beginning to end, including setting you up with one of our 3 moving trucks so you can move for free. We are consistently ranked the #1 independent real estate team in southwestern Illinois. Tammy Mitchell Hines & Company Real Estate knows how to get things done. We sell a house every 30 hours. With over 22 years of experience, I am confident that we can help you accomplish your goals. I believe buying or selling a home is not just a transaction, it's a relationship. So whether you are buying a home or selling a home in the Metro East, go to calltammy.com. That's calltammy.com.
Jamie Allman in the morning.
Hey, Monday, all the nuttiness from around the weekend, people. Gateway pundit joining us, Rod the Bod, Rob Rains on the latest Cardinal moves in the 12 days of Christmas.
On FM News Talk
97.1.
Bells will be ringing, the sad, sad news. Oh, what a Christmas to have the blues. My baby's gone, I have no friends to wish me greetings once again.
This is the Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Hey, back here for the Mark Harder Show. At least he wishes.
Thank you, Tim, for being on today.
That was perfect.
Did you bring me something, man?
Yeah, Ken brought me a gift. I didn't bring you anything. Hey, I'm bringing you to my Christmas party this week.
That's right, and it will be a good one.
Very good. Yes, the annual Tim Jones
Jones. You
Christmas
going to tell everybody
party.
where it is?
The ones who know about it know where it is.
in the bat cave.
It can't hold my 90,000 million gazillion listeners.
That's right.
Right. But the Bat Cave. It's like Dr. Tobler's compound that he always talks about up in North Jesus.
The lair.
You know? The lair. I bet you he has a lair.
I bet he does,
You know
too.
he does.
Oh, yeah.
You can listen to him on Saturday mornings.
They've got old silos up there.
Yeah, that's right. 6 to 9 a.m. Hey, Tim Jones back on the Tim Jones Show. We got 10 minutes left, so stay right here. We're going to get through everything. First, I didn't get through all my clips tonight, but I'm going to do these 3 real fast. This Mueller thing stinks to high heaven, and we did get to that. We talked with Cassie Smedile about that from the RNC. But listen to what another great speaker, if I may say so myself, thinks about what's going on with this Mueller investigation and what would have happened if the law had been applied equally with the swamp. If the swamp creatures had applied the law equally to the Clinton crime family.
Well, this is undermining our system of justice. It is violating the law. It's very likely all of these people will end up going to jail. But imagine that the reverse had happened. Imagine that they had allowed the law to follow its natural course.
Exactly.
Imagine that you'd gotten a report last summer, or the summer of 2016, by Director Comey saying, well, you know, it's likely that foreign agents did get to her accounts because of the way she'd handled them and the way she'd broken the rules. It is clear that she was guilty of gross negligence, which in fact is a technical term meaning that she had broken the law. And if he had said, therefore, I am recommending that she be prosecuted, I mean, you would have blown the whole campaign wide open at that point. You probably would have had Trump winning with 55 or 60% of the vote. You'd have had a shattering of the Democratic Party. All of this is I literally, and I'll challenge anybody in our audience to find me a case where you have this kind of methodical corruption, this violation of the rule of law.
That's what is really going on here. The seamy underbelly of D.C. has been rolled over by the Trump train as it rolled past it. And that's why all these rats are scurrying around on the ship deck, because they've never had this happen before. And all of this was exposed, and this wasn't supposed to happen, folks. See, that's why this is all happening. Hillary Clinton was supposed to win. Donald Trump was supposed to lose. The Obama administration was supposed to carry on into its, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th years, courtesy of Hillary Clinton. And all of that, they really thought that was going to happen. And it's all been turned upside down. And so now the sunshine's shining in. And so now it's, all Trump. And he must have done this and he must have done that. He didn't do anything, okay? He wasn't in office. These people were controlling the highest levels of government. And this is what they did. And the other person who's being attacked over this, because she's having an effect and she's right, is Judge Jeanine Pirro. And this is what she said about Strzok being at the center of this FBI criminality.
For changing the language from incriminating to innocent is Peter Strzok, a button man in the crime family of James Comey. Strzok, the same man who oversaw the creation of the Trump dossier, the one bought and paid for by the Clinton team, and sat in on Hillary Clinton's interview, who agreed that her aides, Cheryl Mills and Numa Abedin, could be interviewed together, unheard of in law enforcement, and also Strzok, the one who interviewed Michael Flynn, the only one charged with anything.
Yeah, and so, County Councilman Mark Harder, this is what happens when government and government bureaucrats get dragged out in the sunlight and asked things that they've never had to think about anymore because everything was all cozy and they just went about and did their business. And just like what you're experiencing with this budget chaos at the county, no one's ever challenged, at least in recent memory, the county executive on maybe we need to look at things a little differently.
Right, and that's the tact we're taking here, is that over the last 50 or maybe 20 years, I would say, is that the county executive proposes the next year's budget, and it goes before the council, and our charter says the council can either approve it or disapprove it. And so what we've done is we said these certain items we're disapproving, and we're going to change it and send it back to you for approval. And he can veto it.
Right.
But we have 6 votes.
Right.
And
now,
so, it's a give and take. It's a negotiation.
Right.
Nobody is having more power over the next. This is a negotiation. We'll send it over, and he can veto it, but we have the votes to override it if it goes there. So that's kind of the overall procedure.
And before people say that the county council is going to put a bunch of coal in their stocking, as we approach Christmas, you were explaining to me during the break, no services are going to be cut. So if you had the service in 2017, you're going to have the service in 2018. Nobody's getting laid off.
Correct.
Nobody's getting a pink slip before Christmas.
Right.
You're just saying we're going to freeze some things, 5 things from 5 different budgets from 2017, and we're going to try to make up the difference with some economic growth, or we're going to maybe move the money around and prioritize. We're not just going to rubber stamp the county executive, and this is a bipartisan position.
It is. So that's a good point. In that we will cut this money in dollars, not by percents, but by dollars. Some of these departments we had were projects, like a roundabout over by Creve Coeur Park. That was $3 million to put in this roundabout to connect a number of streets. It won't happen. We cut it out of the budget, and they'll just have to get by with a stop sign. So those kind of projects, we can take those dollars out and hold it back so we're not spending out of our reserve.
And the status quo of the world is maintained because...
And the sun will still come up tomorrow.
And it's still called a cut, though, right? Because you're not going to do it.
To some, that's called a cut.
Some that's called a cut. Yeah, okay. That's government speak. All right.
So that's how we looked at this. And there was a project in the Parks Department that was budgeted for this year, but it's not going to happen this year. It may happen 2 years from now, but they budget it every year, and then they look good at the end of the year. They say, well, look, we return this money back to the general fund. And it's like, well, it shouldn't have been there anyway. So it's this shell game of money and proposals, and we want to spend it. But if we don't get it, we can't spend it. And so what we're trying to do, as I said in the Post-Dispatch, it's like sending your kids to Six Flags, and they say, I need $125 to go to Six Flags. And he said, okay, how about we just give you $100? And if you need the extra 25, call me.
Great analogy. And I like you to use Six Flags. Thank you.
There you go.
It's in my old district and yours.
Missouri,
yes.
and in the 7th District.
So former Representative Doug Funderburk is a very good friend of mine. You know him as well. Mm-hmm. He said, tell Mark to go to zero-based budgeting and watch the department heads really explode.
Yeah.
That would be a sea change, right?
Yeah, we'd have people jumping out of windows.
But it's also called how everybody else in the private sector and in their family homes does budgeting, right? Government just automatically expects an increase every single year. And it's an increase in taxpayer money that they don't own in the first place.
Right. And we've been told for the last 5 years by our budget director, we're going to hit this wall.
So everybody knew this was coming.
Oh, yeah. This is every year we spend down, and we're getting closer and closer to a zero rainy day fund. And if we would have adopted the county executive's fund or his proposal, at the end of this year, we'd be down to like $6 or $8 million in our rainy day fund. And for a county of our size, that's infinitesimal. And that's going to then affect our bond rating. And we don't want to be a junk bond status like other municipalities in this region. So
big vote on Tuesday coming up, right?
Big vote on Tuesday. If you'd like to learn more about it, come to our county council meeting. And this week, because of the holiday, our county council meeting will be 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday, not at our normal 6 o'clock.
It's going to be some firecrackers, some fireworks, but I think it's good stuff.
I think, but I think we'll have the first time to try to get this budget under control, and we'll see how the year goes after that.
Folks, you can follow him at Mark Harder on Facebook. He'll keep you up to date on all of this. Mark, stay right here because I want to end on a high note, remind people the reason for the season. We're not here next week. It'll be Best of Tim Jones because it's Christmas Eve, for God's sake. So I'm going to give Ken, one night off this year, like Bob Cratchit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
But let's come in early.
Let's play. Yeah. I think we got enough time here, right?
Yes.
If I get right to it.
Yes.
Folks, this is the reason for the season from one of my favorites. All three of us here grew up hearing this every year. My daughters love it. My wife, Suzanne, Katie, Abby. It's a favorite at home. It's a favorite of mine. It's my gift to you. Let's play this, and I'll wrap it up on the backside.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?
Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about. Lights, please.
And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
That's what Christmas is all about, Mark Harder.
It is.
Yes.
It's the only reason.
That's right. Merry Christmas to you, my friend, and your family.
Merry Christmas to you and to our illustrious engineer here this evening.
Ken, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Speaker, to you and your family, and to you, Mark.
All of you and all of yours. Andrew, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Thanks to all of you. Merry Christmas to all of you out there. Thanks for listening. Thanks for making this show the great show that it was this year. We promise to bring you lots more to the new year. We'll be back live on New Year's Eve on the Tim Jones Show. Katie Abby, Suzanne, be home soon, ladies. Love you lots. Merry Christmas, all. And to all, a good night.
The Tim Jones Show.
It doesn't matter where you live in the bi-state area, affordability of utilities is serious for many seniors, disabled, and poor people trying to stay warm each winter.
Lack of money often results in unsafe methods of heating their dwellings. HeatUpStLouis.org takes 100% of your online donations to stop disconnections or help reconnect utility services.
Need has no geographic boundaries. This is Melanie DeLeo, Chair.
This is Reverend Early Nance Jr. Help HeatUpStLouis.org.
Please make a donation.
Winter is here. Time to get your home weather tight with roofing, siding, windows, and more from Arrowhead Building Supply. Rick Pogue here to tell you that Arrowhead is the choice of our local contractors because of our large selection and excellent customer service. Remember that your house contracts in the winter cold, and the result of this behavior can be water and wind infiltration, both of which result in high energy and repair costs. Come visit our St. Peter's or Peebly showrooms in Missouri or the Fairview Heights showroom in Illinois today. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
I'm Chris Walls, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. I actually don't even think about food. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad is it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. The second month is where I saw a drastic change in the size of my stomach. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Take an ordinary putty knife and scrape off the old wax ring. Place the new wax ring over the flange, then line up the bolts with the bowl and gently set in place, making sure a proper seal is created with the flange and drain. Next.
Dad?
Yeah, sweetie.
Is that an old plumbing manual?
Oh, yeah, honey.
We really need to get some new books.
Right, do you want me to stop?
Nah, I kinda wanna know how it ends.
Okay. Tighten the bolts, line up the flushing valve to the opening in the top of the bowl, and secure the tank with a screwdriver and crescent wrench.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis. Powered by Window World. FM News Talk 97.1.
More fallout from sexual misconduct allegations. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. A stunner in the NFL. The Carolina Panthers announcing owner Jerry Richardson will sell the team after the end of the 2017 season. That announcement comes as the NFL takes over the team's investigation into claims that Richardson was guilty of sexual harassment and for a racial slur towards a scout. Without commenting on the allegations, Richardson said in a statement that he believes it is time to turn the franchise over to a new ownership. The vote on the GOP tax overhaul bill will go on this week without Republican Senator John McCain. President Trump spoke to his wife this weekend.
He's going through a very tough time. There's no question about it.
McCain's office says the senator's back in Arizona after being treated in Washington for a viral infection during brain cancer therapy.
Senator McCain missed a number of votes during the latter part of the week after being readmitted for treatment, responding to the chemotherapy treatment for his brain cancer at Walter Reed Medical Center. And there was a lot of question as to, A, his just overall health, and number two, whether or not he would be present to vote on the tax bill.
Fox's Chad Pergram. Even without McCain, Republicans feel they have enough votes to pass the $1.5 trillion tax cut legislation. Much of the power is still out at the world's busiest airport.
We do not know how the fire
started.
Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed speaking to reporters a short time ago. Power went out today to the terminal at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, causing people to be stuck in planes, on the runway, and in the dark in the terminal.
We do not know.
Kind of sucks because trying to get to the house, I have things to do.
Nearly 1,400 flights canceled or delayed. Delta and Southwest canceling operations for the night. Crews expect to restore power by midnight. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Listen, my life changed because someone was there to get me to use drugs. No one can understand. Whether or not they've struggled with addiction themselves, people seem to think that having someone who will listen is gonna help make it better. I'm realizing that I need help.
I'm listening.
I need help. I'm realizing that I think that having someone who will listen is going to help make it better. Whether or not they've struggled with addiction themselves, people seem to understand. No one can get me to use drugs. My life changed because someone was there to listen.
1 in 7 Americans will struggle with addiction during their lifetime. Want to know how you can help? Go to heretolisten.com for tips and tools to help turn addiction around. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
It's a murder investigation now. Police